It's time to get your quick fix with the remix. I'm Remixus, and I hope y'all are having a fantastic day.
What's going on, guys? I am in Vejle, Denmark. It's about 30 minutes away from Legoland, which is where the first Legoland was built, and I'm going to be heading out there shortly. So before I go, I wanted to show you guys, I ended up getting the new Action Cam 4 from Osmo. Got a few complaints about it. I'm thinking about doing a quick starter kind of review video later on. You can see there is a little bit of a size difference here. There's so it is quite a little bit different. You're not going to be able to use like the same batteries, for instance. There's a few more features, especially better for low light and temperature changes. So I'm looking forward to using this. With that upgrade, I ended up going with this newer style camera case. I ended up buying this one. It's actually built for the Action 3, so if you have Action 3 accessories, this will transfer over into the Action 4. This one in particular has these screw mounts because I like it for my selfie stick here. I ended up getting the Insta360 a while back. I've been using it for a good amount of time. But it's also got the screw mount on the side, it's got it on the top, and then there's one on the bottom. However, I'm using the magnetic clip right here on the bottom for this. So if I set this down for a second, you can see that I can unclip this portion, and there's a magnet right here that's pretty strong, and it just magnetically clips onto the bottom without even snapping in. And then this case is kind of cool because it's also got one on the side here, so it'll do the same thing. I'm not even clipped in, and it wants to attract. But I can only put it in one way or the magnet's going to be fighting against me, so clip it in there. Hopefully it's in frame. And there's that. It has a nice little release here for the back portion so I can take the camera in and out. And then it also has a side button here so I can access the battery and the SD card. Let's take a look. It is an absolutely gorgeous day, bluebird skies. I've got to get out of here because I want to have a full fun day at Lego. There's two locations, the Lego house and the Legoland. So I'll catch you guys on the road. I really like this little town. I was out last night. They have a nice, I guess food court area is the best way to describe it. It's almost like a mall food court, but they have a large brewery right in the center. And then, well, brewery, kind of a bar with quite a few beers on tap. And then a lot of little restaurants all surrounding the central courtyard. So you can kind of get whatever you want to eat, but then you've got a central place for beer. So I think it's a pretty cool idea. With no real shopping areas in that specific food court. So coming up towards the bus station. I think they have train station up over there as well. This is the closest meeting point for anybody who's trying to go over to Legoland, so it provides a great hub for getting in and out. I like the river that runs right through. I was able to get a couple photos last night. We'll have to see how they turn out. Maybe I'll post them into this video. The update process was kind of annoying. So in order for you to use the camera, you have to sign in to DJI's app. And in order to do that, you have to download it. It wasn't available on the App Store. So you get signed into their app in order to use the phone, the camera. If you try and use it more than 5 times, it'll keep a page up that says that you have to log into the app in order to activate the product. And then in order to activate the product, they're going to collect a whole bunch of data, and you really can't skip out on it. They tell you that if you decline, you may be entitled to a full refund because you can't use the item without activating the product, which you have to give a whole bunch of user metadata. So it's super annoying. The first camera doesn't have an app. It does have an app, kind of. You can completely use it and avoid the app all entirely. So kind of an upset right there. I don't plan on using the app anymore. Reason I ended up wanting to upgrade is because of the low light problems I was having. When I took it to Snow World, and I'm working on an indoor place with fluorescent lighting, the lighting situation wasn't all that great. And it really prevented me from getting the videos that I really wanted, especially as I zoomed in. You could see how much grain was being introduced. And so having this lens have a 2.8 f-stop is going to allow more light
to get into the sensor and just overall provide better performance for me. The recording aspect, I'm still going to be recording at 2.7K 60 FPS, so this recording in 4K and stuff really doesn't matter since most of my stuff is going to be watched on a phone. But it is nice to have the options, especially if I want to take like a time lapse or go with the slow-mo. I could do 4K at 100, I think it's 120 FPS if I remember correctly. I could be wrong on that, but even still I can definitely do 2.7 at 120 FPS, so that will definitely allow me to do those time lapses and slow-mos. But it's not something that I really incorporate into my stuff, although I might use it in some snowboarding situations, like if I'm going off of a jump or a rail. That might be kind of interesting to see the slow-mo for it. One thing that I wish that this camera did come with was an extra battery. I ended up buying a separate case, which you guys saw earlier, but it only comes with the one battery, which, to be fair, most other cameras don't come with more than one battery. But I would have really appreciated having a second one. I don't know how long this thing is going to last. I've probably been recording about 15 minutes. There's a little indicator up there. It kind of looks like the 79%, so not too bad. What is nice is it's got a front screen, which the original one also had a front screen. However, this front screen is also touchscreen, so it's nice. You can do things like manage your settings from the front screen without having to go back to the other side and then change your settings and then flip it back to the front screen. So we're headed off to the Lego house first because they're closed tomorrow. That way if there's something that I wanted to see in the morning before I leave, or spend a little bit more time here tomorrow, I can always do it. And stage. Pick a brick, and then you can created in 1989. So one thing that's pretty cool is if they need to, they'll go ahead and create a new Lego piece like this one here. It looks like it's probably for Encanto. It's got the Disney logo, so what's pretty cool is like, okay, we need to make a sombrero and we need to make a guitar that's gonna fit. These are two new pieces, so they will make it 3 times larger to get the details right and then work it into its final product like you see there. Beautiful up here. This is actually the reason I want to get a drone soon. It's pretty cool because they have a little play area up here for kids. It's kind of an interesting process. The beads are going to be, from what I can tell, and I could be wrong, and they got a little box there for working on the machine and doing lubrication and all that, but all the beads are going to be stored in this container right here. They're going to come up in and get processed through here. Not quite sure what this machine is doing, but you can see the beads in the red, and then they come up through here down to here. Here's some of those beads that you can see. I don't think I can zoom in, but whatever. Okay, cool. Keeps going through the whole tubing system. Those beads just got deposited up there, and they're going down into the machine, where they're going to get heated and then pressed into here and formed. And the pieces just fell out, and then they get deposited, it looks like cut, cleaned, and deposited onto this tray down here. There's some fresh pieces that just dropped out, 4 of them. We're going to go to the other side now. Well, the other side is going to fold them up into that blue and then come and deposit them into here. There's a bag on a roll. Sorry. There's a bag on a roll over there. And you can see, kind of hard to see, there's a little bag where they're going to get deposited once enough Lego pieces fall into. It's right in the center there, and the bag just got sealed, placed on the rack, comes over here for delivery, Up. So this fresh one that just came out right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Piece. This person wants a house, so I drop it down. Boom. Now add it to the piece. On shopping wall and all this kind of stuff, but they're gonna spread out. This is an actual wearable Lego dress. There's her photo in there. Little girl just said she'd wear it to a wedding. I stopped at a gas station and obviously got gas, but I went in and got a couple drinks, and my brother's really gonna appreciate this one. So back home we have a local gas station called Stewart's, and they have really good ice cream. They also have foods that are made fresh daily, so it's a pretty nice place to go in and get some gas station food. They have these drinks also called refreshers, and probably our favorite one was the blue one, but because it basically tasted like if you take a freeze pop and you didn't freeze it and just drank the juice, the blue ones tasted just like that. We'd call it Smurf piss, but whatever. So I stopped at this gas station here in Denmark, and they have these ones called Sunjoy. I was thinking maybe it's gonna be like Sunny D. It's gonna have basically a Sunny D orange juice with raspberry or something like that, but no, it tastes exactly like a refresher. So bottoms up. There we go. Coming to Legoland is actually a pretty cool thing for me. I went to the first one on my birthday last year, and it was in Germany, but I'd always wanted to go to the ones in LA or in Florida because those were the only two that I knew about. Seen them in pictures and stuff like that, but to come to the original one is pretty amazing. Got it set up for October. So this is kind of cool. It's a little chair for kids and stuff, but I remember this set. At least I think I do. I could be wrong, but got a whole kind of aquarium going on. That's pretty cool. It looks, I'm hoping this comes out real nice. I was also able to recharge the camera in about, I think it was about an hour and a half, something like that. So, decent charging time. I just went ahead and put it in the charger and took a quick nap, and then, yeah, decent time. Seems like this will be about as dark as it's gonna get. The sky it could get a little bit darker, but it seems like it's doing pretty good. I think I'll be able to do pretty well with the ISO. I can see just on the image there's quite a bit of grain, but I think this will work. I think it'll really help for indoor places. So after a full day of testing at Snow World, I was able to get about 74 minutes of recording. I did have one file corrupt, so I'm not exactly sure what happened there. And the temperature inside Snow World was sitting at about -5 Celsius. That's roughly 23 degrees Fahrenheit. I've gone ahead and ordered a second battery, but I think this camera setup is going to work really well. Hey, so I wanted to go ahead and finish this video off by talking about a few things I forgot to mention. So as I've been using this camera, I noticed that you can go ahead and look at your videos, but you can also set little timestamps for important moments. So that way when you're going back and editing, you've already got those timestamps so you know exactly what footage you want to go ahead and grab. Another thing that's pretty cool when it comes to compression is you can switch between HVAC and H.264. So I think that's kind of a pretty cool compression thing, especially if you guys are trying to always format in a specific style. With all the accessories that it does come with at its base package, you do get more than you would with something like the GoPros. So for instance, I mentioned about the case that I had went out and bought, but it also comes with a case. There's nothing too special about it. It's just got a little flip tab. You can open this and allow your camera to go right in. I really wish that a lot more companies would give you cases. The photos in the camera are pretty decent. I've only taken a couple of them at low light and I really like how they turned out. However, I would not use this as a primary camera. And finally, you can see what I have of how well it performed at Snow World. And while I have to say that I'm not super impressed with the low light quality, I am very content with the upgrade that I have. But to be fair, most action cams, whether it's a GoPro, whether it's a DJI or whatever, don't have the best of low light quality. So for what it is, it does a pretty decent job. It's going to be better than me trying to use my phone camera, even though my phone camera does excellent with low light for photography. So for what it is and the way I'm going to be using it, I think this is going to work really well, and I think it's going to let me make a little bit higher quality videos when I'm dealing with those low light conditions. Anyways, that about concludes it here. I really appreciate you guys watching, and if you like what I'm doing, keep subscribed for more content. As always, keep it real and keep it on remix.